Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celeb news. Now today we have, hey yo man, I think we got Boosie on deck. Do we got Boosie on? Yeah, we got Boosie addressing Kanye, man. You know what I'm saying? We also got folks trying to get married and other people trying to dodge them. You know what I mean? That's what it looked like, man. We got Bobby Shmurda breaking down the pros and cons of stuff, man. Tory Lanez information, with the court case and the whole 9 year. Again, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source Show. If this is your first time to the channel, man, be sure to hit that like button if you feel any part of the content. We definitely appreciate that. Hey, yo, that notification bell's waiting for your taps, so go on and give it a tap. And that subscribe button's waiting for your subscription, man, so go on and touch that too. All right, look, let's get right to it, man. Hey, look, did you hear what happened when Dave Chappelle brought Elon Musk out on stage, man? Look. He said, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world. I was over there like, yo, man, Chappelle, why you set that man up like that, man? You know what I'm saying? The fact that he's the richest man in the world just highlights to a lot of people that their account is overdrafted. You see what I'm saying, man? That T-Mobile going to pull money out their account. You know what I mean? And their joint's going to be in the red. Look, he said, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world. And then this happened. Hey, yo, take a look.
I don't want to hurt you. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world. Cheers and booze, I see. Elon.
Hey, Dave.
Controversy, buddy.
Weren't expecting this, were you?
It sounds like some of them people you fired are in the audience. Hey, wait a minute. Those of you who are booing. Tough road ahead, it sounds like. But you notice one thing, all those people are booing, and I'm just pointing out the obvious. You have terrible seats, and I understand. All coming from way up there, nigga, the last minute, non-playing the niggas, boo, boo, boo. Listen. Whatever. Look, motherfucker. This nigga is not even trying to die on earth. Come on.
Hey, yo, that man said, it sounds like some of the people you fired are in the audience. Right? Then he said, don't say nothing. It'll only spoil the moment. Do you hear that sound, Elon? That's the sound of pending civil unrest. I can't wait to see what store you decimate next, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, man. And here's where it gets interesting, right? The person that posted that video on Twitter appears to have suspended the owner of the original video, or like they had deleted their account or something like that. Because when you look for it now, it says this tweet is from an account that no longer exists. Elon, like, you ain't dissing me on my platform, you know what I mean? They probably suspended the account and fired whoever's job it is to make sure that you was never supposed to see that in the first place. You know what I'm saying? What a calamity it is over there, man. Hey, look. Y'all know that, y'all remember that show Cheers? Y'all know that Kirstie died like not last Monday, but the Monday before last month. I think it was December 5th. Kirstie, yeah, she passed away. We have a little tribute to your girl, Kirstie. I want you to take a listen to this interview that came out a while ago. Take a listen.
Your mother was killed in an automobile accident.
The happiest moment of my life, literally, was when I got that movie.
And the saddest moment of my life was when my mother died. But there was something that occurred that sort of summed up my mother in this time period. When I got a call that, first of all, you have to know that my mother was a very funny person. She and I were a little bit like oil and water. Didn't mix too well. She was a very funny person. So anyway, I got this phone call. My sister called me, and I was in Los Angeles, and said, Mom and Dad have been in a car wreck, and Mother is dead. And Dad is dying. And I, of course, was falling apart. But all I knew was I had to get there. And I got there, and my sister and I, we were all sitting in this waiting room, and we were sobbing. And as I'm crying, I said, my sister's here, and I wasn't looking at her, but I said, where were they going? And she said, to a Halloween party. And I said, what were they dressed as? Why would you ask this? Why would you? And she said, the Odd Couple. And I said, oh. And I'm thinking, what Odd Couple? Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon? Well, what were their costumes exactly? She said, Mom was a black girl and Dad was a Ku Klux Klan member. We started laughing. And the whole family, I guess, had heard this conversation, and we all started laughing. And it was the greatest tribute that you could give my mother. Do you know? And I really realized that through us, she existed. You know, she would continue. And that she had left us with this wonderful sense of humor and this wonderful ability to laugh and cry at the same time. So I felt closer to her then than I'd ever felt to her in my life.
There is a picture I noticed behind me.
You hear that, man? I almost said F that lady out loud. Listen, man. They were laughing, right? But someone in heaven ain't find that costume funny. You know what I'm saying? The Tory Megan saga trials thing is well underway. I think they like on their second week of the joint. And man, it got messy as hell. You know what I'm saying? As hell itself. Remember when Megan was like in that interview and they asked her if she had intimate relations with Tory, and she was like, I did not have sexual relations with that ninja. Remember that? And damn near like didn't break eye contact. Source, do we have that first Megan clip on deck?
Relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Did you, Megan, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
So why do you think he's putting out the story that the two of you had a relationship and that you're making the whole thing up?
I think that he is trying to deflect from the fact that he committed a crime. What happened?
Now, you heard her just deny they had a sexual relationship, right? But at the opening of the trial, the prosecution that is against Tory, right, has opened by saying that she did, in fact, have a sexual relationship with the man. Yeah, you heard me right. The prosecutors, the prosecution that's on her side started off with the lie that she told. I'm like, bro, this is what y'all leading with, man. Why didn't she could have hired me. I don't even need that. I mean, come on, man. Look. That's the prosecution's opener. I'm starting to think Tory paid the prosecutor against himself. Why would they lead with that? Maybe there's something I'm missing. Like, because, when you don't do a thing, right, you think you know how it should run. So maybe when I hear like the prosecutors and stuff, I think that I can do better than them only because I know so little about the whole thing. You see, the Dunning-Kruger effect. You know what I mean? All my psychologists know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? The dumber you are, the more you think you know. You know what I mean? Look. Why would they lead with it? It was also revealed, right, that Tory and Meg's former friend, Kelsey Nicole, they both tested positive for gunpowder residue. You know what I'm saying? Which I could see if these people were in close quarters during the incident. You know what I mean? Like if you're shooting from a car, then whoever's in the car, I can imagine, has the gunpowder residue all over them. You know what I mean? Then there's this bombshell info that dropped in the public courtroom. Take a listen real quick.
In the Tory Lanez trial, we had opening statements. Opening statements are still actually going. We had to pause midway through for lunch. Better than TV. If you watch the prosecution's opening statement, you would say guilty. If you then watch the defense's opening statement, you would say, what the hell is the prosecution thinking, charging him? Basically, the prosecution started with this story. They said that, hey, they're all at the party, and Tory is leaving the party with Meg. They're in the car. An argument breaks out, during which Meg says, and insults his skills as a rap artist. This leads to a situation where she gets out of the car and he shoots at her feet and yells, "Dance, bitch." And then she ends up at a hospital, and a doctor takes out 3 fragments of bullet wounds from her foot. Now, if you just hear, and the prosecution says that Kelsey, the other woman in the car, is going to testify that Tory shot Meg. And Kelsey has a text message where she texts somebody that, hey, Tory shot Meg. And then the rest of the prosecution's case is based on all these calls and texts where Tory's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so drunk." He never says that I shot him. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so drunk." So question what he's apologizing for. So that's the prosecution's case. Seems pretty easy. Then the defense comes up, and man, it gets spicy. First, the defense goes, they're not telling you about half of what's going on. The most important thing they're not telling you about an eyewitness who saw 2 women fighting, Kelsey and Meg. And so let's talk about why them 2 are fighting. Let's talk about how she was in the front seat. The gun was caught in the front seat. Let's talk about how she might have gunpowder. She does have gunpowder. Let's talk about how this has nothing to do with the fight between Tory and Meg and everything to do with the fight between Meg and Kelsey. And then the defense starts dropping the bombs. He basically says this, that they're in the car. Yeah, they left. But do you know why they left? They left because Kylie and Tory were in the pool together. And Kelsey and Meg both felt some type of way about that, to the point that Meg felt really some type of way about that. And she was really trying to go, to the point that eventually, because of how Meg is acting, this is according to the defense, Kylie Jenner goes to Meg Thee Stallion and says, "It's time for you to leave." They all leave. The defense's point is what happens in the car is this. Tory questions Kelsey, "Hey Kelsey, why are you backing up Meg for me trying to, get it on with Kylie Jenner? Meg has been snaking men from you your whole life. I hooked up with you, Kelsey, and then Meg went behind your back and hooked up with me. And Kelsey, this is not the first time. You had been hooking up with Ben Simmons. Meg went behind your back and hooked up with Ben Simmons. You had been hooking up with the baby. Meg went behind your back and hooked up with the baby." And so the defense starts dropping all these grenades. The crowd is captivated. The jury's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And there's every reason to believe that there could have been a fight here, not between Tory and Meg, but between Meg and Kelsey. And the shooting could have not been Tory. It could have been done by any one of the other people in that car. What does all of this mean? Well, I'll tell you a couple things. First, Corey Gamble, Kris Jenner's husband, is going to testify, so this will continue to be must-see TV. 2, the judge is terrific. I expect a very fair trial. The lawyers on the defense side are terrific. I don't know what the government lawyer was doing, giving an opening presentation that made it seem like the most open and shut case ever, when in fact there are huge questions, including an eyewitness who saw 2 women fighting, suggesting that you have to explain that theory to the jury, and you didn't. I don't love the prosecution's opening in that regard. Stay tuned. We'll have the full coverage here. It's up and it's stuck in the Tory Lanez trial.
You see? You see that, man? See, this is why you need to be celibate, man. You like the hell you preach? Listen. If you don't want to hear it from me, hear it from your boy, Bobby Shmurda. Take a listen.
So the pros and cons of celibacy: you get more money, you stack way more money, but it's lonely at night and it's hard. It's very hard what I'm doing right now. I'm going through the celibacy, but sometimes I feel, what's that? Turn that up. What's that?
But my body.
Right? Hey, look, I'm sorry. Look, to prove your point about celibacy, you use convicted child rapist R. Kelly? No, sir. Yes, I am. Look, his art might have been incredible until you consider the fact that it might have been directed to a middle school child that was left back twice. You catching my drift, man? No, sir. Matter of fact, let me do my shout outs real quick. Yeah, I definitely got some shout. I know I got some shout. All right, where we at over here, man? Let me see if I can pull up my picks real quick. All right, look. Dazzle Done Deal said, I rarely ever comment on anything on YouTube. And I never commented on one of your videos, though I watch them often on my TV while I clean. Oh, I'm glad to be that background noise. She said, but I love how you reached out to everyone at the end of the other video. She said, I got fibromyalgia. I have a severe case of it, along with my fibromyalgia and other medical problems. There's no moment left in my life, day or night, that is pain-free. That's a horrible thing, man. Sis, I hope you feel a lot better, man. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that, the pain can, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me keep reading. She goes, I contemplate ending my life, my torture daily. I only haven't yet because, I know it'll hurt my kids when I finally do. I don't like that word when, sis. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. She goes, I felt it so much when you reminded everyone, if you aren't in pain right now, you know what I'm saying? That you should be cognizant of the fact that you aren't in pain right now. She said, I wish I would never have taken pain-free days for granted. I wish more people understood what a blessing it just is to not be suffering in pain. Yo, Dazzle Dunn, man. That, like what you said is a whole lot, man. And I honestly pray, you know what I mean? That you don't feel a lot of pain. A lot of times, no one wants to feel pain. Don't nobody want to feel pain. And pain often tells us, like, a lot of times we need pain for other reasons, but no one wants to feel it. I certainly don't want to feel it. You know what I mean? And we always trying to avoid it and trying to get away from it, man. So Dazzle Dunn, I hope that there's a lot that you bring to the table for a lot of people. A lot of people depend on you for a lot of things. And there are certain things that only you can do that no one else can do. Please don't rob everyone around you of the things that only you can do with your heart and with your mind. And you see what I'm saying, man? And with with everything else that you have to be able to provide, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that thrive off of what you got to give, sis. So, man, stay strong. Stay strong in the midst of what you got going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Much love to you, Dazzle. Mike Todd said, yo, man, Sarah was obedient to Abraham calling him Lord. I appreciate that, man, because we had that conversation about, Lord Jamal. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that, Mike Todd. I saw what you did there. Daniel Abson said, I have to tell my babies to look out for you on that game, Fortnite. She said, you wrong for that. Look, I'm trying to tell Danielle Abson, hey, look, if the gingerbread man done killed them and did the gritty, it was me. You know what I'm saying? When the gingerbread man do the gritty. You know what I mean? Now it's going to be gingerbread man all over the place. Check this out, man. Reno the Sun said, what's insanity is the fact that Kanye's actually telling the truth about a lot of stuff. And you keep discrediting him because all you care about is being accepted amongst the world. You say that you are just giving information. Just give the information. We don't need your opinion. If you're only just giving information. Look, listen, man. I said to Reno that I give what I want to give, and I give it how I want to give it. He's discrediting himself and specific truths with his erratic and asinine behavior. You know what I'm saying? He ain't telling us the truth we don't already know, bruh. I done said that in the other video, man. It might be new to you. Most of us know who's pulling the strings, who controls the media, who got the money. We all know that already, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's new to you, Reno the Sun, but it ain't new to us. So, like, he don't gotta, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get to that in a heartbeat, man. You know what I mean? Like, come on with that. Listen, Adele has been dating LeBron James' agent, Rich Paul. Let me see one time. Look at that. Rich Paul, okay? Adele seems to be super in love with Rich Paul. You know what I'm saying? And Rich seems to be staring out the window, acting like he ain't just hear her ask him to elope in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? That's right. She's like, hello, it's me. And he's like, click. You know what I'm saying? Radar Online reports, quote, she's begged Rich to elope on countless occasions and now has set her heart on doing it in Las Vegas sooner than later. But Rich doesn't seem to have the same type of urgency. That's right. He seems, I guess, according to them, they're saying he's completely unbothered, right? No urgency. They said he's happy with the way things are for now. You like, it sounds like somebody I know. Hey, listen. Why you always got to make things about you? You know what I'm saying, sis? Why you got to make things about? Don't you realize that the paradox in life that the more you push for a person to like you in a relationship, the less they like you? You don't know that? The more you tighten your grip, the more they want to get away. You just got here? Are you new to the planet? Is you new to the planet? You don't know how this thing works? The more you try to make people like you, the less they will. The more connected we are with the internet, the more isolated we feel. You know what I'm saying? You can only have a happy relationship if you're happy being by yourself. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know ish. The more options you have, the less satisfied you'll feel with those options. The more you force a relationship, the more likely you are to break up. If he don't want to marry you, let me put it like this. Listen, this world is filled with these types of paradoxes, man. You know what I'm saying? The more you chase money, that's why when people talk about paper chasing, I'm like, you got to be an idiot, okay? If you chase paper, it's going to run faster. you can't really fully catch it. And then when you do fully catch it, he that is greedy for silver is never ever satisfied with the silver. You're not going to be satisfied with the thing that you chase. The happiness has to be internal within yourself. You can't get it from outside. These outside things don't do much for you. They won't. You know what I'm saying? They might temporarily give you a little bit of a hit, but it's not the thing that you really were seeking to begin with, especially if you're trying to find it in a relationship, Adele. Listen, man. Listen. If he don't want to marry you, right? Like, listen, if you always having an issue or a problem, you know what I mean? Like, if you, like, in a relationship, if there's one person in a relationship that always got something going on, you know folks is going to be trying to get away from you, right? Don't nobody want to be around somebody that always got a damn problem. You know what I'm saying? If you always got a problem, you need to probably get out the damn relationship and go and try to figure it out on your own, because the relationship, you just dragging the other person down, man. They probably don't want to tell you this, but they probably sitting right next to you right now. So somebody got to tell you. So take it from me. If you always got issues in your relationship, male or female, you're probably dragging the other person down. They probably daydreaming about other people on a regular, man. You know what I'm saying? And you need to get it through your thick skull stuff. Fix your issues, man. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I be getting pissed when I be thinking about people that always got a problem. Can't even pronounce the B in the word. Problem. Listen, you know what it is, man? You know how Adele music be sounding? You know what I'm saying? Like, she be sounding like she always kind of going through it. He won't want to, like, if you sound like how, like, I like her music, don't get me wrong, but the things that she's saying in the music, it sounds like a person that's constantly chasing or weeping after another individual. If you are what she sounds like in, like, the person she sounds like is in the music, he won't want to marry. Period. There ain't no way for you to get that through your skull. Get it from over here, man. If you sound like you always got an issue or you always begging for someone, they don't want to be with you. If they don't want to be with anybody that begs. If you are like, you know what? I think I'm about to roll. I think I might be better by myself. Then you might initiate a chase. Listen, he's happy. They said, Radar said, he's happy with the way things are for now, wanting to get through the holidays and dealing with formalities, including the prenup. In fact, she's at the point where she's ready to say, marry me or move on. I certainly hope she's at that stage. But even then, like, you doing an ultimatum thing, I wouldn't even include the marry me or I'ma move on. Just be like, you know what? Maybe this thing ain't working out, because the things that I kind of want in my life, they not the things you want. I want to get married. I want to have children. I want to have this, that, and the other. And I need somebody that's on the same page with me. I get the sense you ain't on the same page. So maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe after this weekend, we just can, you know what I'm saying, go our separate ways. You might get better traction with that kind of argument than trying to chase a person. Anyway, the two have been brainstorming a big fancy wedding in Los Angeles, but they're saying Adele doesn't want to wait that long to make it official. Rich would prefer to take more time, but at the end of the day, Adele's the boss and gets what she wants. Close quote. It don't sound like she is. Yes, it sounds like she waiting and begging. That's not how you do that. You do not wait and you do not beg. One thing I made clear to myself, I said, celeb, you is not gonna beg for a thing. You know what I mean? I don't care if I'm losing a job. We can't beg, man. We cannot do it. Relationship, we ain't begging for this. We ain't begging for it, because we are the prize. You got to say that to yourself. You know what I mean? You are the prize. You are the prize. You know what I mean? Folks should be blessed to have you in their presence. And if I am not a blessing with my presence alone, then you need to dip. If this channel don't serve you as a blessing in some sort, then you need to go and find yourself a better channel, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Don't come sitting over here if we dragging you down, please. And finally, you're like, ooh, the rant is strong with this one. Hey, look, man. You know what I'm saying? There's knowledge somewhere in here. Remember how yesterday we told you that Kanye West said, oh, Rosa Parks was a plant? I think the legs of his argument, right, is that perhaps about 9 months earlier, there was a young lady by the name of Claudette Colvin who wasn't trying to hear that give up her seat talk. for a white dude. You know what I'm saying? But she was pregnant and she was darker skinned. You know how folks are with darker skinned people. You know what I mean? They act like they a little bit less than the lighter skinned people. That's how a lot of people are. I'm just calling it what it is. You know what I'm saying? I see it all the time in my classroom. You know, the kids be like, oh, you so black, you so black. I be jumping in like, well, maybe their ancestors wasn't raped by a white person. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you mad at them now? You know, that's just my way of trying to help. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, my bad. You like, man, you just shouldn't be teaching. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't be. So you know, that's the whole Claudette Colvin situation, right? She was darker skinned, darker than Rosa, and she probably, the idea is that she probably wouldn't have popped off the movement as hard as what they were trying to do. That's the narrative, okay? But that does not negate Rosa Parks' role in history, okay? Boosie has hit Kanye with a response. This is what he said. He said, now Rosa Parks, he goes, he really hate black people with a passion. F you, Kanye. You sick as F. It's a shame this man is really trying to take away all black glory. It's sad. George Floyd, slavery a choice. White Lives Matter. Rosa Parks. Who's next? Martin Luther King? Blacks should do this man like the Jews did him. Now he's coming for black history. Close quote. I want you to notice what Boosie did right there. I found that to be interesting. Okay? Because when a person does a thing in isolation, right? But it's not consistent with all the other things they do, you might be like, oh, well, that thing they did in isolation was a one-off. You see what I'm saying? What Jamal say? Jamal said, once, the first time is luck, the second time is skill, third time is mastery. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's what he said. Okay? And I agree with that. You know, I can take anything from anybody, right? But I definitely agree with that. Okay? You think about what he's talking about, consistency, all right? Boosie said George Floyd, slavery a choice, White Lives Matter, Rosa Parks. So there's a whole line of things that Kanye has been doing that is showing you his relation relative to black. You know what I mean? And when he get on, for a white girl, right? Listen, man. We be trying to get this man Kanye mad grace. Like, we tried. You might be new to the channel, so you might be like, oh, you always bashing Kanye. You might be new here. You know what I'm saying? I like Kanye's music. But there's a lot of things that he did that was very questionable. And after you start putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, you realize, oh, this puzzle is a house. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I got the door, I got the window, I got the, you know what I'm saying? The roof. It's a house. Listen. I hope all you overstanding ninjas finally understand this man has closed his third eye to you and your history. It's the only way I can talk to some of y'all, man. Look, Grand Rising, welcome to the Doodoo Show. You know what I'm saying? He don't care about you, your mammy, your greasy grandmammy. None of y'all. He don't care about nobody. You know what I'm saying? That look like you. You know what I mean? So, who might I be talking to when addressing folks back in this man's nonsense?
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and
Sauce, who else do we tend to see backing this man's antics?
The ambiguity that I feel never justifies itself. There's always the pungent odor of life's constipation that surreptitiously conflicts with the detrimental instability hitherto for 6'8", who do we appreciate? The unification of Congress, condoms, demystifying the squalor of profanity regurgitating over and over again. Here, let me digress my bowels for a minute and right to the front, the nondescript hernia rectifies the miscommunication of fetal or fecal, depending on where your head is at.
reading is fundamental.
So do not be persecuted by the pompous fedora, balanced by the equilibrium fortified by the government's inability to eradicate or foreshadow, taken from the Hebrew word for skin.
You see that? That is what we tend to find backing this man's antics. And they don't even, it's like they can't even see it. That's the sad part. It's like they can't even, listen, I blame pride for that. The refusal to admit that you might have been wrong backing this dude's tomfoolery. You see what I'm saying? I'm completely open to, I might be wrong. I'm cool with that. It doesn't hurt me if I'm wrong. That just means I'm learning. You know what I mean? So I don't care if I'm wrong or not. So like I'm saying if I'm wrong, I want to try to correct it. But it doesn't hurt me to know that I might have been wrong. You see what I'm saying, man? I've apologized to people on this channel before, man. And y'all don't even know what I look like. But I still feel like I need to apologize if I'm dead wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? Remember, it is possible, right? To be saying a potentially right thing in a very wrong way. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for me to preface the fact that a nightmarish winter storm is coming with the asinine statement that blacks should be grateful for the Middle Passage. You see what I'm saying, man? You're like, he didn't say that, did he? I mean, I don't think he said that, but like, if you asked him and he said that, would you really be shocked? Like, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Think about it. If you asked him, well, what do you think about the Middle Passage? Do you think that that was bad or, you know what I'm saying? Think about the answer that he might give. George Floyd. Slavery was a choice. White Lives Matter. Rosa Parks. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think he might say about the Middle Passage? And you'll let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, what do you think he would say about the Middle Passage? Those of y'all that support him, what do you think about the Middle Passage? What do you say about what he said about George Floyd, slavery, or White Lives Matter, Rosa Parks? What do you think about all those things? You still backing him on those? Maybe you are. But, you know, we know who we're talking. Oswald Bates is who we're talking to. And y'all let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to like. Be sure to subscribe. And yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source. Your source for celeb news.